This morning was starting from the National Assembly. It has to do with education. Yesterday, some Waec officials and even the education minister appeared before a committee of the National Assembly.
The lawmakers have cautioned during that appearance, Waec, to tread carefully in their planned introduction of computer-based testing for West African Senior School certificate examination, warning that any glitch in the 2026 rollout could jeopardize the future of millions of Nigerian students. Waec had earlier given firm assurance that the new CBT will be accessible to students in every part of the country, regardless of location or access to technology. Head of the Waec National Office, Amos Dangut, made the pledge during the sensitization session organized by members of the National Assembly Committee on Education. See, at the reader, you can feel in my tone that I know they are joking. They are joking. You are giving assurances to technology that you are not in control of. Do you understand? Is it making sense? You are telling me you are sure the technology will work. Are you the one running the technology? This country is a joke.
Well, for those who listen to this program, most of you already know my stance as far as the CBT thing is concerned. We've seen how far it has gone with JAM. Now Waec is trying to borrow a leaf from what JAM did. They actually did a test run, I think early this year, and it didn't turn out well in most centers. That is what the Waec officials ended up not telling the lawmakers yesterday. The truth is, if you move around Nigeria, there are so many secondary schools that have not seen computer. There are so
They
many
don't sit here
secondary
sit down.
schools, exactly,
They take computer.
that the students have never been taught computer on paper. Not to talk about them having access, seeing one and playing around with it or working with it. So why are we trying to run before crawling? Let's learn to take procedures the way they ought to be taken. You must crawl before walking, then run. But as we have a situation where certain persons who head certain agencies want to take glory for being the person.
Yes, let me introduce them.
It was during my term that Waec was digitized. It was during my reign that JAM was digitized. Come on, at what cost? Tomorrow we end up blaming the students that they no longer read, they are dumb, they are getting dumber by the day, whereas the environment for these students to excel has not been created. Let me use my village for instance. My village is a stone throw from the Enugu International Airport. But guess what? There is no computer in that school. A secondary school that is close to that airport. Then imagine other villages that are well inside in the interland. What is the fate, or what would be the fate of these students? If Waec must introduce CBT, for me they should make it optional. Let those who want to write with paper, write with paper. And those ones who are fortunate are privileged enough to attend good schools in the urban areas should opt out for the computer-based test, not forcing everybody, knowing fully well that not everybody has access or is privileged to have seen a computer. They talked about having at least one center in each local government area. Please.
I beg you.
There are some local governments you would have to travel from two local governments or through two local government areas before you get to their local government secretariat. My local government is an example. You would have to go through two local government areas before accessing my local government secretariat if you're coming from my place.
My love, yesterday I went to somewhere they called, is it Osusiokpo or Osuokpo, somewhere around the Enugu Port Harcourt Expressway. There was no network on my MTN phone.
So there you have it. And you're talking about CBT.
This one no be rural. It's almost on the main road.
Express.
My network, MTN, was not available. No network until I came out of that place. And then imagine people in the real rural communities. You've not been to the north before. Even in schools, teachers are teaching with Hausa and English. You will see a northern candidate in a core rural community struggling to even speak English. And you're telling him to write CBT.
Use computer.
Funny though. Very, very
Indeed.
funny.
Indeed. Maybe they should just take a trip. I think maybe the Waec officials are convinced
They're
with
living
what they
in the
see
moon.
in Lagos and Abuja. They should realize that Nigeria is beyond Lagos
Yeah.
and Abuja.
Yeah.
There are cities. Take a look at even where Magic FM is located. We have about 3 schools around this axis. Just take a trip around the government-owned schools and see for yourself if the products of those schools can afford to sit for Waec using the computer.
When they say they use 247 electricity, before you go for sale, they don't take light. The school administration will run to find
Fuel, generator. So
students will be tense.
there are so many things that we need to put on ground first. We should not be in a haste to cause unnecessary trouble. We all saw what happened, just that we have short-lived memory. What happened with JAM? How the whole Southeast was affected by a so-called glitch. The JAM man came out, the JAM man
Apologizing and shedding tears,
and he was forgiven. Everybody has moved on.
while the students have suffered.
That's it.